Motherfucker, I just pressed the off button again. So, bringing stale bread back to life, yeah. Gotta get this right, and I keep pressing the off button on the video by mistake. Makes it into part 1s and part 2s, don't it? Let's gently put this down again and face it that way. It's probably staring at the ceiling, but... Right. Bit of sauce on it first, like a pizza topping. Let's have a bit of onion relish on there. Some cheese and onion on toast. Dosh, dosh, dosh. And then 3 dollops of it on each. Come on. Won't be difficult. A little bit. Excuse me. Let's gently pick it up without pausing it. Eee. Bit of gentle coaxing on of it. That is sliding on the floor. Good old English pizza in the morning. Or an English variation of a pizza, innit? Right. Let's get my fingers away from that bit of the tablet. Get this used up. Excuse me fingers, it's only myself and my own germs going into my own body, if anything, isn't it? And I'm quite comfortable with that. I don't fear my body system. Yeah, anything that goes on the floor, the dogs can grab, can't they? And what they barking for out there? Let's just spread it out a little bit more. And fuck off just because you can't see what's going on in here. You know there's food involved, don't you? Yeah. Bit of prison pizza. Make my back don't like that leaning over stuff. I'm not getting the stuff off the floor, the dogs will hoover that up. Along with the coffee dregs and whatever else is on the floor at the same time, so maybe best not the right idea. That could do with a little bit more on that side, couldn't it? It's only the flavour of the bread, isn't it? Chicken's still defrosting away though. All by itself. Now, that don't need to go in the fridge because it's being used up quick enough now. The temperature is going down in the kitchen. Yes, Billy Connolly, you are right. We as humans do make funny noises when we're getting up and down as we're getting older in life. Yeah, that's why I'm not using that one, because that's yesterday's dregs with, let's put that in my pocket before I forget where I put it. The dog's clean mattress. that was in the shed. There's still a little bit of watery residue in the bottom bit of it, so that's just, but the rest has been dried by the wind as it blows through the filter. Let's have it on the top shelf now, because we're doing the cheese side, aren't we? I don't need to be distracted, do I? Because it cooks quicker like that. And I don't want to be squatting down on my knee with an audience thinking, what's going on in there? He's doing his food, what's going on? We don't like this, we can't see it. Let's bark at him so he shows us. Clean enough oven, innit? Needs a bit of a scourer on it, but no immediate rush. The oven's clean inside. Oh, I know what I forgot. Let's correct that a bit sharpish. Oh, where is it? Where's the gold dust? Cayenne pepper? No, that's not it. Where is it? Where's my paprika? Can't have cheese on toast without a bit of paprika sprinkled across the top of it, can we? Making it go all goldeny browny. Yeah, that's loosened it up. There we go, let's have a bit of that on there. Let's give it a squidge in there. So it goes in the cheese fat, if you see what I mean. I'm in my Homer Simpson mode now. Food. So in prison, if I walked up to the serving acts and said, like, you know, cheers for that soup, it was a bit watery though. So I'll put a bit of spice in it. Oh, you can't say that here. You will get the wrong idea. I'm talking about spice from noodle packs, mate. So let me just add that on the end before you jump down my throat, because that's how I used to get by when soup tasted a bit watery. The spices from me noodles I'd mix in with me soup. Crush up some crisps, put it in me soup. Wow, look at this, mate. Top-notch food here, mate, now, innit? It's just like eating out in a restaurant, innit? My Lithuanian cell, mate. What? You're silly. Am I? Well, I've now got soup that's been jazzed up a bit and croutons. It's all in the mind, isn't it? So that's what I'm having for my breakfast, and it's a bit late for breakfast, but just wipe my hands on that. Don't need to wash anyway. Come on, I'm hungry now. It's all running down the side now. Yeah, a couple of seconds. How long, Turkish? Couple of minutes. till it looks right, in other words. Couple of minutes, gov. Couple of minutes, gov. When it looks right, it's done, isn't it? Ain't done before it's done, is it? Right, that one's burning. Motherfucker, that hurts. That one can go in there on the other side then, because that's the hottest one of the two, isn't it? Right, let's just get the angle right on it. No, I'm not a chef. Just a man that got taught by a woman how to cook and adapted it over the years. Good old girl she was. Didn't work out. I don't look back in anger. She'd be horrified looking round my kitchen now. She'd say, come on, snap out of it. Well, unfortunately I have to do things the way I have to do things. Alright. Kids asked why it never worked out. I said, well, I didn't have a look, did I? Couldn't exactly help her in that regard, could I? Which caused stress and tension. Because it's all about more money, more money. Always ever is. Like I said. You get out of it. There's a good girl. Come on, leave your house. Good girl. That's just to draw the water out of it. Alright? No other reason. Straighter up it becomes, the better really. So let's just slide that in front of it to hold it up. Let gravity do the rest if it lets me. Okay, it's like that, is it? Let's just stop that then. Now, gravity, take that. So I can get to my fridge. Ooh, bacon in there. Mushrooms in there. Northern Hemisphere food, remember. Right, got a bit of light for the hallway. There's no mess in my hallway, is there? Nope, good boys and girls. You're not having none of my cheese on toast, so forget it. I'm gonna get back in my bed, have a look at my mail. Who have we got today? Electric, payday, landlords, just try and wind me up for the weekend. Because So they all come through the door on a Friday, don't they? So you stew about it all weekend. It's psychology tactics, isn't it? All about money. Alright. So we got breakfast. Let's just put this down while I open the landlord's one, decide what I'm going to do with it. What do you reckon it's about? Money owed? Reminding me I have a debt before I pay my spare bedroom tax on payday. Let's see. See if they're following the normal pattern. There is an outstanding balance on your account. Right, screw that fucker up. That goes in the filing system. Alright. Lecky bill. Already know what it is, don't forget that I've got to be paying. I had to divert things on the cost of living payment. So, what I take out of that, right, amount to pay £140.09. Right, you have multiple bills outstanding, right, so what's the total amount? You now have multiple bills outstanding. Please pay £140 today, or let us know if you need help. Right, so I've got a £140 payment there. So let's keep that one. Let's keep that letter. Keep the payment slip that I can pay Tuesday. Right, in the bank. Right. They're telling me how much I've got to pay. So there you go. Right, so let's keep that page. The rest is just junk mail. Doesn't correspond with the other letter that's already been burnt, because I knew I had to pay £200 because it was 2 lots of that. So I already knew that, didn't I? I didn't need to be told in a future letter, because I've just explained why. The Resident. Right, from Northampton. The Resident. Not addressing me by name, so I'll probably get thrown in the bin. The Resident. Morgan Lambert. Cross Keys Homes. We need to visit your home to carry out a gas quality inspection. They've already done it a little while ago, remember? A couple of months back they did that. Because I was having a grumble about the nosy bastards coming round to check every couple of months, right? So they don't need to come round and check it again, because the guy came round and checked it a couple of months ago, didn't he? Right. So, bullshit letter gets me to call them though, doesn't it? A bullshit letter with an excuse to come round being nosy again. Right. So let's keep them ones down there while I get on with my breakfast. Right. Is there any videos I can have a look at while I'm eating? That was cool last night, that video. Enjoyed that. That was something different. Anything else on there? Let's see what's going on in YouTube world. Now here comes the media questions. What the heck is happening by the Blue Lagoon? Already addressed that, haven't I? Something's taken the pressure off Iceland further down the mid-Atlantic ridge. There's volcanic activity in Kamchatka as it's joining the recycling side.
One simple but brilliant trick to heat your home in 90 seconds and save thousands of dollars on your heating bill this winter.
I'd be watching a little bit further away from Iceland if I was you. Why are you watching the Blue Lagoon? Because there's a super caldera a little bit further along the line, and if Iceland's the warning sign first,
from the Reykjavik Grapevine.
Kamchatka's erupting. Could point at that, couldn't it? That super caldera on the bottom of the ocean floor.
From the 13th century called Eldvörp, just west of the Blue Lagoon, which you can see over there. And
I do like this site though. Very informative.
3,500 people living.
See, these were the things that I missed in Prism.
Frequent earthquakes in this area, and the earth just like a kilometer and a half west of the Blue Lagoon.
I watched their videos. Don't know if they watched mine or not.
Centimeters in the last couple of weeks, and there's a bit of
just gonna pop it down.
Magma under there, and it has well, specialists and locals and the authorities worried about a potential eruption. So what we're going to do today is that we're going to talk to a volcanologist who is a professor at the University of Iceland, and he's going to tell us what's been happening here in the past few weeks and how this is in many ways different from the
I'm hearing heavy door slamming
3 eruptions we've had
from outside.
The last couple of 2 years.
Because I haven't put out my wheelie bin like everyone else yet.
We're here with Professor Þorvaldur Þórðarson, Professor of Volcanology at the University of Iceland, and we're currently on top of a rising.
I know what time they arrive, because the dogs will start barking.
To give us more details about the area here and what's going
And
on.
I'll be able to hear them coming into the estate as well.
Yeah, maybe the first thing to do is realise we're on the Reykjanes Peninsula,
Yes.
which is part of the mid-Atlantic ridge system, where we have the plates splitting, moving in opposite directions. It so happens the orientation of the Reykjanes Peninsula is such that it's kind of a parallel, almost parallel to the movement of the plates. So normally when you have extension, you know, the opening is actually perpendicular to the movement of the plates. Mm-hmm. But in this case, you know, because of rotation, the close to parallel, just as an angle to the movement of the plates. So
he's talking centrifuge.
I see.
But there's also a little bit of extension because they're not quite parallel, and that extension opens up pathways for magma to actually rise from deep within the earth, from the mantle up to the surface, and produce.
So I'm right so far, aren't I?
And also for this reason, the volcanic activity on the Reykjanes Peninsula takes place in periods. So we have eruption periods. And in the last 4,000 years, we've had 3 eruption periods, and the 4th one just started in 2021.
I haven't made that connection yet, though, because they're going by the old models.
400 years long. And between each period, we have sort of 600 to 1,000 years.
Sometimes it takes a fresh perspective to see it a different way,
and
don't
that's
it?
Why, you know, for many, they were caught by surprise when the activity started here, and people sort of had forgotten that, well, this place can actually erupt.
And you told me just earlier that the last cycle of eruptions was in the 13th century.
It started in the 9th century. It started just after Iceland was settled, and continued all the way to 1240.
Remember, in the Middle Ages, there was a big gas cloud, poisoned thousands in the field in UK.
In 1240, right? From
that's why I'll keep an eye on it.
West of us here.
They all thought it was the end of the world.
The bad lava.
I wonder why they named it that.
And yeah, well, probably because it was rougher than the earlier lavas that had formed, which are actually what we call pahoehoe.
Okay.
And they're smooth surface, they're almost like a pavement lava.
Yeah, the one we just passed it.
Yes, yeah.
It looks
and this one, as you can see, is more broken up.
Yeah.
And rougher, so it must have been rougher to pass, and you could definitely not take horses across it.
No.
So that's why it probably has the name Ítlahraun.
All magma that comes out of the ground is magnetic in nature.
That's a little bit
until it cools.
On the history. So in 2021 we started the 4th eruption period on the Reykjanes Peninsula, and it so happens it's 781 years from this eruption here. So it fits the time scales of things.
So maybe we should have expected something, and
yes, we should have.
We should have. Well, we like so before.
Some of us did.
Yeah, I guess some of us did.
And when we raised those issues, some people got a little bit annoyed with us because they thought we were just.
Yeah, I remember that some city council person in Hafnarfjörður was annoyed by the suggestion last year was it you, that building in the outskirts of the suburbs of Hafnarfjörður, which is just here to the northeast, was potentially not a great idea.
Well, you can build in the outskirts of Hafnarfjörður, it just depends on where.
Yeah.
And in this case, what we were talking about is that if they would extend southwards in that new neighborhood they had, then they would actually get closer and closer to where the vents were that erupted in the 12th century.
So like the near Krýsuvík.
Yes, closer to Krýsuvík, yeah. So the closer you are to the source, the less response time you have if something happens.
True.
And we can see that here with Ítlahraun and its craters here. We have Svartsengi power plant and the Blue Lagoon a kilometer away.
Yeah, it's not a long distance to travel through lava. I mean, the last eruption would sometimes have.
I'll leave you to watch this yourselves.
Speed.
But it's by
Lava flow.
Yes, and
it would take us what, 10 minutes to walk?
the Reykjavik Grape Line.
Like that.
Yeah.
10-15 minutes.
Yeah.
And if it, like most of these eruptions, they start, a little bit more powerful than they sort of are on average.
Yeah.
So that you have the greatest intensity of activity at the beginning, and then it sort of tapers out. That's sort of the typical pattern. And if you have, like
just sharing it to
22
Facebook.
and 23, we had sort of a production of magma on the order of 4 to 40 cubic meters per second. And that is the working pace. If you increase that by an order of magnitude, just say 300 to 400 cubic meters per second, then the lava that those things are feeding is also going to be moving faster.
Yes, I see.
And so you could even have less response time. I sincerely hope that there's not going to be an eruption.
Yes.
And I sincerely hope if there is an eruption, it is a small one and that we can easily deal with and we can detect it very early on. But the whole thing is, and then the most important message is that we can't rule out the other scenario.
No, that's right, because you've got to take into account what's happening on both sides of it.
Quite fast in the beginning. And if it's close to these important infrastructures,
Caldera,
anyone there
Kamchatka,
could be potentially in danger. And
is saving your bacon at the moment in
when we're
Iceland.
thinking about the sort of the hazard side of things and how we respond to it.
Well, I mean, this is one of the major difference between the last 3 eruptions and the potentially this area potentially erupting is that the other area doesn't have any infrastructure. here we have, well, we have the Blue Lagoon right there. We have the town of Grindavík with 3,500 people over there. And we have almost all the energy infrastructure for this whole peninsula nearby or next to the Blue Lagoon. We're looking at it right here.
Yeah.
So here we have a very, well, a completely different situation.
Yeah, and several hundred billion kroner investment, even though human life cannot be valued in a monetary way, but there's also a lot of investment. And so, and these are important infrastructure. And if the power plant, for example, is not operable, then it's not only Grindavík that will suffer from it. It will also be the town of Reykjanesbær and other communities on the peninsula, which depend not only on the electricity from the power plant, but also on the hot water, and also nearby is the cold water resource.
We're standing on top of where, like, the ground has been rising by what, 7 or 8 centimeters in the past?
Yes, where we are right now is the kind of the center or the loci of the inflation. The land is rising here, and the reason why land is rising here is beneath us about a 4 to 5 kilometers depth. We have magma coming in from below.
Okay.
And it's rising in, it's rising from potentially from depths of 10 to 15 kilometers, and then it's been pumped into this sort of a storage zone, some form of a container at 4 to 5 kilometers depth. And as you pump things in, you need to create volume for the new magma that is coming up, and that's why the surface has been lifted up, because that's the easiest way to do it. This is a free surface which you can lift. But at the same time, you also build up pressure, internal pressure, in that storage zone. And as you do that,
Right, my son's messaging me.
is exerting force onto the roof and the sides of that storage zone, and you get number of fractures or cracks.